The story begins with a man named Nolan and his wife, Lisa. They had been together for almost 10 years, hoping to start a family. After years of heartbreak, they had nearly given up. But one day, they finally got the news they had been waiting for. Lisa was pregnant. It felt like a miracle. Lisa had spent so many nights crying, afraid she would never become a mother. Nolan hated seeing her in pain, but there was nothing he could do except hold her and hope for the best. Before they knew about the pregnancy, Nolan had brought home a dog to cheer Lisa up. He wanted her to feel less lonely when he wasn't home. They named him Max. The first time Lisa saw Max, she became emotional. She held him close, feeling comforted for the first time in a long while. But Max wasn't just a pet. He was about to become something much more. What Nolan and Lisa didn't know was that this furry friend would soon be their greatest protector. Years passed, and while Lisa loved having Max around, there was still one thing that made her feel sad: the emptiness of not having a child. They had almost given up hope when something strange happened. One morning, Lisa noticed Max acting differently. Normally calm and friendly, he was now following her everywhere, whining and pacing nervously. He wouldn't leave her side. At first, Nolan thought Max might be sick or just needed more attention, but there were no signs of illness. They brushed it off as him being clingy. A few days later, Lisa decided to take a pregnancy test, not expecting much. But when she saw the results, her heart raced. It was positive. She rushed to Nolan, tears streaming down her face, overwhelmed with joy. Their dream of becoming parents was finally coming true. What amazed them the most was that Max had known before they did. He had sensed Lisa's pregnancy long before the test confirmed it. Nolan did everything he could to care for Lisa during her pregnancy. He made sure she had everything she needed, while Max also seemed to understand that a baby was on the way. Max stayed close to Lisa, never leaving her side. He even slept beside her, as if he already knew there was a little one growing inside her. Max was already attached to the baby before she was even born. Months later, Lisa gave birth to a beautiful baby girl named Ivy. The couple was filled with joy, and their little family felt complete. As time passed, Lisa saw how hard Nolan was working. He was juggling everything, and she didn't want him to carry all the weight alone. So, Lisa decided to find a job to help with their home and baby expenses. But balancing work and caring for Ivy was tough. They were exhausted. They decided to hire a babysitter, but finding the right person wasn't easy. Lisa didn't know anyone in town except her close friend, Amelia. Amelia had been there for them through everything. She agreed to babysit Ivy, and it felt right to trust her. At first, everything seemed fine. Lisa and Nolan were relieved to have found a trusted babysitter for Ivy. They felt comfortable leaving their little one in Amelia's care. But Max didn't feel the same. The loyal dog, who had always been friendly and playful, suddenly became uneasy whenever Amelia was around. He would stare at her, growl softly, and refuse to leave Ivy's side. At night, Max stayed by the baby's crib, keeping watch like a guard dog. Lisa and Nolan thought it was strange, but figured Max was just adjusting to a new person in the house. As time passed, Max's behavior got worse. He began blocking Amelia from getting close to Ivy. Whenever she tried to approach, Max would stand in her way, refusing to move. Amelia started complaining, saying she couldn't do her job properly because of Max's constant interference. Not wanting to upset their friend, Lisa and Nolan began locking Max in another room while Amelia was babysitting. But even then, Max would bark and scratch at the door, still trying to protect Ivy. 2 months after Ivy was born, Lisa and Nolan were starting to get frustrated with Max's behavior. Amelia was complaining every day about how Max was acting. They loved him dearly, but his constant restlessness was making things difficult. They wondered if he was just jealous of the baby. Before Ivy arrived, Max was the center of attention. But now everyone was focused on Ivy. Still, deep down, they felt something wasn't right. Then, one night, everything changed. Nolan had planned a surprise date night for Lisa. It had been months since they had spent any time alone, and they were both excited. Amelia agreed to babysit Ivy, and for the first time in a while they felt relaxed as they left the house. But as soon as they were gone, Max went wild. He barked loudly, howled, and threw himself at the door, as if he was trying to stop them from leaving. It was clear something was wrong. But what? Lisa first hesitated, feeling a strange sense of unease. But she told herself it was just Max being Max, and that Ivy was safe with Amelia. Taking a deep breath, she walked away, trying to push her worries aside. A few hours later, their phone rang. It was Amelia, her voice filled with panic. She claimed Max had tried to attack her and insisted they come home immediately. Lisa and Nolan rushed back, their hearts racing. When they arrived, they found Ivy crying uncontrollably, Max looking distressed, and Amelia shaken. Without saying a word, Amelia stormed out of the house, saying she couldn't handle Max anymore. As soon as Amelia left, Max calmed down. He walked over to Ivy's crib, sniffed around, and lay down beside her protectively. Ivy stopped crying the moment Max settled next to her. That's when Lisa and Nolan realized Max's strange behavior wasn't about jealousy. There was something more going on. That night, Nolan couldn't stop thinking about what had happened. The whole situation felt so wrong, and he couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. The next morning, something clicked in his mind. He remembered he had installed security cameras around the house months ago. The strange thing was, no one knew about them. Not even Lisa. Nolan decided to check the footage, hoping it would give him some answers. What he saw left him frozen in shock. Amelia, the woman they had trusted like family, was not who they thought she was. The camera footage revealed a terrifying truth. Amelia was involved in something illegal. She was connected to a criminal group that shared disturbing images of children on the dark web. Nolan felt his chest tighten as he watched the footage. Amelia had been using her time with Ivy to record and share horrible content. And Max had known. He had sensed the danger and had done everything he could to protect Ivy. When Nolan told Lisa, she broke down in tears. She had trusted Amelia with her baby, thinking she was a friend. Now, the most important thing was to take action. So, without wasting time, Nolan immediately called the police. A full investigation was launched, and Amelia, along with several people connected to her, was arrested. The authorities uncovered a huge network of criminals who were exploiting children. Lisa and Nolan were heartbroken, but they knew that thanks to Max, they had stopped something terrible before more harm could be done. Lisa and Nolan were in complete shock. How could they have trusted someone so dangerous with their child? It was a chilling realization that still haunted them, but in the middle of their fear and regret, one thing became clear. Max had been right all along. Their loyal dog had done what no one else could. Max had protected Ivy, uncovered a terrible crime, and prevented countless other children from suffering. He wasn't just a pet, he was their hero. From that moment on, Max returned to his usual happy and playful self. Lisa and Nolan never ignored his instincts again. They had learned a powerful lesson. Sometimes, those who can't speak see the truth more clearly than anyone else.